Your news brief from the source. Animus Foundation is the name of the Ocala-based nonprofit sanctuary dedicated to the rescue and rehabilitation of wild and domestic animals. Animus, plainly stated, needs your 100% tax-deductible donation, which will go directly to animal care. This sanctuary is run solely on donations. There are so many questions to answer. Please call 843-6379, and they will explain to you how these creatures that live among us are cared for. Please call 843-6379. Thank you.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
Diamonds in the sunset, now your time has come.
All right, 22 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this nice-looking Friday morning as I have now crossed that magical line of 60, and I'm looking at 65, just a few years away now. I don't think, whether we call it retirement or not, I don't think I'm ever going to retire. I mean, I might retire from radio. That's possible. But I'm never, ever going to truly retire. I've always been one of those guys, and I know you're the same way, Robin, one of those gals, who have always been self-motivated. I've always had a project, and I'm the one who usually came up with the idea for the project, and I'm usually the one who's working on it. So it's projects that keep me alive. Projects, and it's not always from myself. Sometimes, life throws you a project. But there's always something to work on, and oh my gosh, I could never be the guy who is happy just sitting watching TV. I could never be that guy. I can't even handle watching TV for a half hour. Well, that's about it. That's about my limit. Yeah. I guess you would say. Jeannette Bajalia. Boy, I'm probably saying her name wrong. We'll find out in a second. She's a retirement planner and the president and principal advisor of Petro's Estate and Retirement Planning. She's the founder and president of Woman's Worth, and she's written a book called Planning a Purposeful Life, The Secrets of Longevity. Let's find out what she's got to say. Jeannette, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you two doing today?
Pretty good. Where are you?
I am sitting in lovely Winter Park, Florida, in my satellite office in Winter Park, sunny Florida.
So your weather is exactly like ours, and you're not that far away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did you retire here? Are you retired? You're not retired, are you?
Are you kidding? I just was listening to you, Larry, and I am 65 years old. I did retire at 55 from a corporate career. I was a corporate in an executive ranks in a corporation, and after 38 years in that career, I retired, and I've been doing estate retirement planning 10 years. Owner of 2 companies, and let me tell you, I'm more passionate and purposeful about what I'm doing to help individuals and families protect their future than ever. So I'm with you. I don't see myself retiring.
I love that. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. I mean, the gift of quote-unquote retirement, in other words, the 9 to 5, the gift of getting away from that is that you can use your life now to pursue things that give to other aspects of the community.
Exactly. I don't call it retirement. I wrote an article for Newsmax Finance, and it was called "Don't Retire, Rewire."
Yeah.
It's a matter of now you could pick and choose a purposeful future, a purposeful career.
My guess is, and I'm not a psychologist, but my guess, Jeannette, is that you've had this attitude your whole life, because the guy or the lady who's happy sitting on the couch, for 10 hours. Has never been you. You've never been that person. Am I right?
You're right. I've never been that person because I've always said there's more to give back. I was a caregiver for 30 years of my life, and I took care of. I was a full financial provider for a mother and a great aunt. My mother lived to 93, my aunt to 100. So I had always been juggling multiple responsibilities like many individuals do, especially the baby boomers. They've got kids coming back home. They've got parents that are coming, they're having to help. So it was in that process that I got very intimately familiar with, you know what? If you don't use it, you lose it, whether it's your mind, your body, or your spirit. You got to keep it moving.
I like the idea. In our world, we're in the entertainment world. Whether you can't tell that on radio usually, but but Robert and I, we play music, and I can remember when we were younger, it was about being on stage and getting attention and all that other nonsense that goes along with it. But now, you know what is really kind of cool? We play music like and we're not even there. The music is there, but we're kind of in the corner, and we're not. But we're contributing to an ambiance, I guess. That is romantic, and I just love it because in a way we're contributing to younger lives without removing ourselves from life.
Exactly, and that's what we have to do because you know what? They need our wisdom. They need our knowledge. That's what I learned in writing, interviewing over 30 people for this book, Planning a Purposeful Life. I wanted to know. I wanted to learn from what I consider to be the greatest generation because I wanted to take their knowledge and wisdom. I wanted to influence my life and the lives of those that I serve.
And what kind of revelations did you come from by interviewing people from the greatest generation? Because they really ran the gamut of all walks of life.
They did. That they live a life of purpose. One of the key learnings that I got is you don't retire from something unless you have something to retire to. And they reported that many of their families, even not just their friends, they retired thinking that they were going to play golf or they're going to travel, and they said, those people didn't really have purpose. Those are just activities to fill in time.
Yes.
That's temporary satisfaction. And so what they reported to me is that when I asked them the question, what advice would you give the younger folks, like in my generation, the baby boomers that are going to be retiring? And what they said is tell them, do not, one, retire without a plan. Two, do not retire from something unless they have something to go to that gives them life and purpose.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. The first part of those two, though, is that about money? Is that what the first part is about?
The plan, it's about really understanding, because see, you have to understand that the greatest generation, when they retired at 60 or 62 or 65, they retired with a pension.
Right.
Most of baby boomers don't retire with pensions, and then they have Social Security. And they had savings. That was a generation that lived in an environment that had 9 and 12 and 15% interest rates on CDs. So, and that generation, they liked that fixed return. And so what they said was, we thought we were going to live in retirement 15, 20 years, because back then the life expectancy might have been mid-70s. But they said, and then all of a sudden, because they had those pensions, they have Social Security, they didn't have to totally rely on their savings to get them through the 80s and the 90s. You have to understand, some of these folks are still driving cars at 90 and 95, still maintaining homes, and they need the financial assets to do that.
That's true. And pretty soon they're going to have self-driving cars, and they can do it even if they're blind.
Yeah. Now I have my limit.
Your book is called Planning a Purposeful Life, and then Secrets of Longevity, I guess, is the subtitle. Can you give us a sample of some of those secrets?
I would think some of the common denominators, some of the secrets is driving through your life challenges, because by the time you get to these life stages, you're going to have challenges, but this generation, they look past the challenges and they treat each day as a gift. That was a great message to all of us. Is that they don't focus on the problem, they focus on getting through the problem. All their energy goes through on driving through that challenge.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Sometimes, they might be set, the people that are retired, but then they have children or grandchildren that don't really know how to manage their money. They get in a bind, they get in a hole, they ask their parents or grandparents for help, and then they help them, and then all of a sudden they're not, they're starting to get in trouble because they're very generous.
That's one of the things I specialize in. One of my companies I created 7 years ago was Woman's Worth, because women we as women have a hard time exercising tough love when it comes to kids and grandkids. So women will give up at their own expense.
So do men.
You're always helping your kids, and so do men,
Yes.
right? But
Men do too.
Yeah.
men do too. You're right, but we women tend to, because when I reflect back on the couples that I serve, it's the guy that says, no, we have to protect ourselves, and it's the wife that says, no, I want to leave a legacy. I don't want to spend all this money. I want to leave a legacy. And he's going, no, we put them through college. We gave them a good life. And now it's time for us to enjoy our life. I don't care if we leave a nickel behind or not.
I'm just a softie, I guess.
Yeah.
No, dads love their children, too, and they'll do anything to help them.
So, Jeannette, how do you pronounce your last name? Bajalia. Okay, thank you for correcting me. Can I ask you to just hang on? We've got to take a little break, and we'll be right back. The book is called Planning a Purposeful Life. We'll be right back with Jeannette Bajalia. It's Secrets of Longevity. I love the philosophy that we've discussed so far. I'm guessing this is the core of the book. Am I right?
You got that right.
Okay, let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Friday, partly sunny and hot with a high of 89 on the coast, 95 inland. Partly cloudy Friday night, lows in the upper 60s inland, 77 along the coast. For Saturday, partly sunny, breezy and hot in the afternoon, high 86 on the coast, but 94 inland. Sunday, some sunshine, breezy and quite warm, high 86 on the coast, low 90s inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
There are only a few things in life that you can be certain will always be around: death, taxes, the pursuit of happiness, and computers. As they continue to advance at an epic pace, the one absolute certainty about them is that they'll break. It's not an if, it's a when. And when it happens, bring it to the only company in Ocala that's certified in Apple and Microsoft, Ocala Mac and PC Repair. They even offer on-site computer repair service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
All right, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock, we have reached the 80-degree mark, believe it or not. It's going to be a hot day today, 96 degrees, the expected high. And look for this to be the forecast for the whole weekend long. Ooh, now they've added rain for Sunday. Ooh, I'm glad about that. We need the rain, right?
Yes, we do.
Kind of dry around here. All right, let's return. This is an interesting conversation we're having with Jeannette Bajalia. She's not too far from us, maybe, 50 miles south, maybe?
Yeah, I love that city. It's charming.
She's a retirement planner. Her book is called Planning a Purposeful Life, Secrets of Longevity. If you are looking at the streaming podcast or at the recorded podcast, you can see the cover of her book. That's what I've put on there since she's not in the studio, Planning a Purposeful Life. Jeannette, where's the book sold? Is it on all the booksellers that we normally hear of?
Yes, mostly it's on Amazon.com. It's on Barnes & Noble. You can reach out and get a connection to where it's sold from the Woman's Worth website. That's woman's-worth, WORTH.com. So we can just, you have different ways of accessing it. There's also an ebook version of it as well.
You know, I want to tell you something. I worked for 3 years at an assisted living facility about 16 years ago. So I ended about 16 years ago. I took a 3-year hiatus from radio, in other words. I did radio before that, and I did radio after that. But for 3 years, I worked as an activities director in an assisted living facility. Here's what I wanted to tell you that applies to what we're talking about. Even in that environment, you had people who had good attitudes and they were living their lives even though they had to have assistance. And there were people there, even younger than the older folks, who basically lived to eat. I mean, what time is lunch? And it'd be like 8 o'clock in the morning. It'd be right after breakfast. It was, and I'm not talking about dementia people. I'm talking about people who were there completely, mentally. So there is a mentality that you really have to have in order to do what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly, and staying connected and staying active. I saw it in my own family as my mother was aging, getting into her upper 80s and into her 90s, and my aunt is just like, they didn't stop. They just kind of kept moving. They said, if you stop, you stop. I don't care if you have bone on bone in your knees. I'm going to keep moving because I do not want to stop.
You have on the cover of the book 2 people on bicycles, and my gosh, that makes me want to go out on a bicycle. I gotta buy a bicycle, Robin. That looks like fun. Is that you on the cover?
No, I wish it was me on the cover. I'm more. I do the research and the writing of books, not right. But I love bike riding. But I wanted something to communicate a message of aging has to be rebranded. We have to rebrand aging. Aging is not a disease, it's an opportunity, and I think that's why I wanted to get this book out. I wanted to get a book out that says, look at the purposeful lives of these 90-plus people. There's a 94-year-old gentleman, Mr. Frisch, that I interviewed. He's still running his it's a top 10 seafood company, top 10 seafood distributor
really?
In our nation, and he's still running it. He will not put an elevator in his building. He walks up 2 flights of steps every morning to get to work, walks down 2 flights of steps to get home, and he just keeps going in. He says, why should I stop? And he contributes to the city. He's very active in everything going on in Jacksonville, and I'm thinking, you know what? He's my hero.
Yeah,
he is
mine
still
too.
giving back.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe some of the businesses are at fault for offering these ride-on carts for the people that come into their stores? Because some people really don't need them, but then they think they do need them, and then by using this kind of transportation around the stores, they're making their health deteriorate on their own.
Yeah, I don't know if I put the responsibility because we have all the ADA laws and everything that require major employers to, accommodate disabilities, but it's a lot of people think that they're disabled in their own minds, and they gravitate towards those, and people who get handicapped stickers for their cars, and they're really, you see them walk out and you're going, you're not handicapped.
Sometimes.
These people are just in a downward spiral. If they think poor health, they think I can't, then guess what? You can't.
I'm with you. Oh gosh.
And you're contributing the medical statistics.
The answer to what you're saying is in the title of the book. It's Planning a Purposeful Life, Secrets of Longevity. So if I were to turn that around, I would say the secrets of longevity are to have a purposeful life. I think that's it right there. That's the secret right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. It absolutely is. And we struggled with that, me and the book publisher. So we just kind of had to go out and test it with.
So what do you do? So what besides riding? What do you do? And you don't ride a bicycle. What do you do when you're not riding?
Oh, every morning, 7 days a week when I'm not riding a bike. I mean, of course I work. I run 2 estate and retirement planning companies, but I stay physically active. I work out 7 days a week. I was at the gym at 5:30 this morning. I did a
good for
40-minute cardio, and I did a 20-minute weight training. So Because I figure I'm going to stay active. If I'm going to live to 90, 95, 100, I'm going to treat my body right.
Sometimes people are wheelchair bound through no fault of their own, and they have to adjust their lifestyle, and that's where family comes in, because one visit a week from one grandchild gives a person a purposeful life. Also, they can make them lunch, they can go out in the garden, they could do something.
Robin, that is absolutely right. And that's one of the pearls of wisdom that I learned from this generation, and I put in there, is this generation understands the value of staying connected with family and friends in simple ways when you can't get out. One gentleman reported he was delivering Meals on Wheels and working through his 90s. I went to his 97th birthday. He was still working volunteer work at a local hospital, working in the pharmacy, and he delivered Meals on Wheels. When he got to the point where he couldn't drive, he went out with a friend of his who was delivering Meals on Wheels, and he just rode in the car to stay connected. He was losing his ability to get around and to walk, but he just got in the car, and he had that social connection. So that's what's important, is family and friends and staying connected.
Again, the book is called The Planning a Purposeful Life. I do have the cover on the streaming podcast, and if you're watching the recorded podcast, same thing for you. It's got a 5-star review on Amazon, so you've done something right, Jeannette. Thank you for bringing this to our attention and for being on the air to talk about it. Besides Amazon, is the book in the bookstores or anywhere else? Oh, I see it's available as a Kindle. That's good. I like Kindle.
It's Kindle, and then Barnes & Noble is carrying the book as well.
Okay, excellent. Well, and congratulations. Look at this. 5-star review. That's not very common. You don't see that everywhere.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Nothing but 5 stars. All 5 stars. Everybody who's read it.
Wow.
It says, somebody wrote, one of the best books I have ever read, inspiring, heartfelt, and motivating to get my affairs in order, and so very excited for the future. See, I think one of the secrets is just you might say you're old in a kidding way, but don't believe it when you hear yourself say it. Maybe don't even say it. Maybe that's part of it too. I don't know, but
and the social aspect is good.
Exactly, and the best of your life is the rest of your life, and that's the way you have to look at it.
And that's all you have. That's all you have. You don't have anything else but the rest. Jeannette, you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we will be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is